can hear the compression kind of opens up.
No, I didn't. I do not understand. I think I got it. Maybe not. I just have one life. Yes! So compression has always been one of those things that I thought I understood, or more accurately, thought I didn't really need. To be honest, it was mostly an excuse because it sounded way too complex and technical for me. The only time I ever use compression is to mix my vocals or to add it on the drum bus or master bus because I kind of heard that it's what you're supposed to do. That's it. That's my extent of compression knowledge. I pretty much just turn knobs and hope for the best. But I'm at a point now in my career where I want to sign my tracks with bigger labels, and for that to happen, well, I need to have to focus on improving the quality of my tracks for them to hit harder and sound more professional, so I kinda need to figure this out. So in this video, I'm forcing myself to master compression and I'm taking you along with me for the journey. I'll be using free resources and tools such as YouTube, masterclasses, and SoundGym to train my ears, sharpen my technique, and improve my mixes. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing, how I'm learning, and how it changes my mixes by the end. Oh, and shout out to SoundGym for supporting this video, but I'll show you more about them in a little bit. First, let me show you what my drum bus sounds like before this challenge. So these are the drums that I made for the cover of Broken by You. It's not terrible, it's decent, but it's missing that glue or that punch for whatever that's supposed to mean. So step one, I need to understand the theory a little bit more to understand what each of those knobs do. And for this, I'm going to use two resources. So there is my friend Akayo's video on compression, which, looking at the thumbnail, is very accurate for me. And then on top of that, I found a free course for compression on mastering.com, and I know that they're specifically made for like audio mixing, mastering engineers, so I think it'll be a really good resource to go through. So I'm gonna be watching those two tonight, and I will catch you later. So far, the theory of it, I know it all. But I think where I really struggle is to understand how to put it in practice in my actual songs. I think with vocals, it's so easy to hear compression does its job. But when it comes to the drums and piano and instruments, I feel like I cannot hear it as easy as the vocals. So that's why I'm struggling. So maybe the videos won't help. I don't know. I think it's always good to have some theory, but I think maybe the ear practice that we're gonna do in the step 2 probably will help better. We'll see.
You can hear the compression kind of opens up and lets those transient peaks through.
No, I didn't. And I think that's where I really need to practice like the exercises of like hearing the compression, because to me I didn't hear any difference here. Let's go to the more in-depth. That was a pretty cool like introduction back into it, and I got a few things that I didn't know from it, so that was cool. But let's get into more details, because I just want to go more in depth, you know? I mean, that's why we're here. Wait, this is a 10-hour course? It's gonna be a long night. Ah, this is gonna be great.
There's a lot of different things that you can do other than just make the loud sounds quieter, make the quiet sounds louder. And that's
See, that is exactly why I want to learn more about compression, because all I'm doing with compression right now is to make those like loud sounds in vocals quieter and quiet sounds in vocals louder. Like that's all I know how to use it for.
I'm gonna be teaching you how to compress with intention, rather than just throwing a compressor on, twiddling some knobs absentmindedly and saying, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I can guarantee you, it probably doesn't actually sound pretty good. But before we can
Not me at all.
What are each of these 4 goals?
Alright, so before I put into practice what I just learned throughout the videos and this course, I want to do some ear training practice so that my ear can understand and identify a little bit more compression, because so far it's been what I identified to be the main problem. And for that, I'll be using the platform called SoundGym. You probably saw me use it in the past, but let me give you a quick introduction. SoundGym is a training platform where you can practice your mixing ear in a fun and engaging way. It has multiple mini-games covering all mixing topics from EQ to compression, saturation, volume levels, stereo, reverb, delay, and even frequencies. They take less than a few minutes to do, and every day you are served with a 5-exercise daily workout. The more you practice, the better your ear gets. It's that simple. They also include other features such as Olympics and beat race if you fancy competing against other players. Now, if you struggle with the basic mixing errors, including volume levels, EQ, and reverb, it is a great way to improve quickly, as it will make a massive difference in your tracks. It did for me when I used it straight for 30 days back in 2022. Okay, so if we go to Gym, we have access to all the mini games. And the ones I'm going to be using are Compressionists and Dr. Compressor, because those are the 2 related to compression. Now, this one is listen to 2 sounds. One is more compressed than the other with very short attack and release for easier detection. Can you identify it? We'll see. And this one, Compressionist audio, is processed through a compressor. Adjust the makeup gain for even volume, then match the compressor settings to replicate the compressed sound. This one is really tough. So let's start by the other one first to ease into it. Hope I'm not gonna ridiculize myself. As you can see, I haven't played this one much because I suck at it, but we really need to power through today. So let's get into it. Well, that should be this one. First one wrong. What? Okay, which one is the more compressed, right? When I tell you I can't hear compression in drums, that's what I meant. Well, let's try again. No idea why. Every time I select the one that I think is more compressed in terms of like all the drums are more balanced, and the ones that I hear attack or release. And every time it's the opposite. I do not understand. Okay, I think the difference between the boom and the other da-ding, da-ding, is less on this one, which would mean it's more compressed. I think I got it. It's so subtle, so subtle. Right, okay, yeah, the sounds do all feel more tight together. My ear is starting to get it. That's awesome. Maybe not. I just have one life. Yes! Let's go! Alright, next one, Compressionist. This one is gonna be even worse. Oh god. But it's gonna be helpful. Adjust the makeup gain, then match the compressor. Alright. So you do the makeup gain first. And then I have the choice between these 2. Okay, when you have only one thing to change, it's easy. Whew. What? Oh no. It's still one of my best scores. Alright, so for now, I'm gonna continue on my own for the next few days to do those games as much as I can every day. Morning, evening, maybe something like this. Like, it takes like 5 minutes. And then I'll come right back to see how it changes my mix. During the following 5 days, practicing the minigames daily on SoundGym boosted my confidence as I got better and better at recognizing compression, but I still struggle identifying subtle changes such as the attack and release. Normal, it's only been 5 days. On the side of the course, I found it extremely useful for the theory. I now have a strong understanding of what every knob does and what to do to get which results. It is mainly thanks to this super cool tool that I will link in the description that helps you visualize exactly what each knob does to your audio, and the cheat sheets given by the course to remember step-by-step processes or settings. That being said, I still heavily struggle to tie the theory with my ears when shown actual audio examples of before and after. Again, normal, I'm only doing this in a week. So in summary, I feel like I now know much more what I'm doing with compression and how I'm doing it to get the results that I want, but again, still struggle to know for sure that what I'm doing is actually doing the results that I want, because it's so subtle that I haven't been doing this long enough. But anyway, time for the results after a week of focusing on compression. Alright, so my drum bus is here, and the first thing I'm gonna do is just put the compressor on top of the whole drum bus. So I'm gonna be using H-Comp, I think from Waves. And if we are taking our little cheat sheet, the first thing is to figure out my goal. So for this one, it's gonna be to balance and enhance. I think I wanna make sure that there's not that much of difference in my drums, that they feel tied together, and I wanna enhance it so that they are more thick than what I had before. Decide on the compression style will be consistent and thick. Consistent will have high threshold, fast attack, slow release, and for thick we'll have high threshold, fast attack, but fast release. So let's go with step 4 and 5. Find your peaks and valleys and set up my compressor. So from what I learned, zero out our compressor. So bum, bum, 0, fast attack, fast release, big ratio, there we go. So here basically to find my peaks of my drums, I'm using the threshold and going down, down, down until the needle here, or whatever that's called, goes really fast and comes back really fast before the next hit. That means that's my peak. Alright, so that's my threshold. Now I need to have a fast attack and a slow release to balance it out. And apparently fast attack is between 0 and 1 millisecond, not 0 and 50. It would be medium, and then after that it's slow. 1 probably. Alright. And here for my release, I'm just seeing when this little red line comes back like slower than like faster, you know? We'll go on that, and then the ratio. I think I'm gonna go faster on the attack. I'm happy with that. I feel like it balanced out a little bit, very subtle. And that's the thing, I think Because like I was struggling to hear it, so I'm like, that's probably good. Because he did say like, if you hear it, you're probably overdoing it. So I think that's good. So let's hear in the mix how it would sound. Yeah, I think it's subtle, but I think it does raises a little bit the ones that were a bit in the background and balance it out. So I think I'm happy with that. Now let's try to make it thicker. We'll do another one, add another layer. Same thing, zero out everything, find our peak. I think that's about here. And then same, we're gonna have a fast attack, but then we're gonna need a fast release, I think. Yeah, I felt like the peaks were a little bit thicker, so I think that's what we want. No, I just realized I forgot my makeup gain. Okay, now both without. Okay, I think I did it well, because if you look at where the drums peak before, so without the compression, it's around -8. Right? And then when I add the compression, it sounds louder, but it's still peaking at -8. So I think I've done it really well, because that's exactly what you want, from what I heard in the course. So I'm actually super stoked right now. Let's hear in the whole thing. Without. And then with. It's so much better. It's more balanced. You hear more everything in the drums. They're tighter together, and they're more thick as well. So they hit a little bit more. So that's awesome. So obviously it's not perfect, but it's tighter, it hits harder, and most importantly, I know why. For the first time in years, I know what I'm doing, and honestly, just that is a massive win. I'm not a compression god yet, for sure, but I am better than I was last week, and that's all I care about. Huge thanks again to SoundGym for sponsoring this video. Their mini games helped me daily to get better and to connect the dots in a way that YouTube tutorials never did. And if I can make that much progress in just a few days, imagine what you can do in 30 days or a year. So if you want to train your ears daily, I'll leave a link in the description where you can also get 30% off using my link. But in the meantime, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.